Here is what DCF looks for when they are coming out to your house after a domestic violence incident. And again, I'm going to put on my DCF hat. First and foremost, I'm coming to find out, is that person still in the house? Does that person still have access to everyone in the house? If I find that that is the case, I am immediately looking at a plan to try to separate the abuser from the victim and making sure the kids don't have access to that. After that, and if that person isn't there, one of the things I'm going to ask about is there a protective order? Is there a restraining order? If the parent doesn't know how to go about that, I would definitely connect them with resources that show them how. Here in Connecticut, you can go to family court to get a restraining order. And that restraining order, there's going to be a hearing, and it can actually go into effect for 6 months, even up to a year. If there's been an arrest at criminal court, they will actually do a protective order. Whether you want one or not, they will do a protective order. Sometimes it can be a no contact or do not come to the home, or just not to threaten, harass, or assault the protected party. So that's one of the things that I'm going to look for. What is being done to safeguard the kids? And as the type of worker I used to be, I would want to know, what could we do to help that parent? How could we support that parent? Not all DCF workers are created equal, and they all don't operate the same way. But mainly what the worker is going to want to know is, what are the steps you have taken to make sure that the kids are safe? And what are you going to do, not just for the immediate future, but what are you going to do long term to make sure that the kids are safe? Sometimes DCF will even offer services to the person who is doing the abusing and the offending, and hopefully that person is open to doing that. And I want to be clear that it will not be enough for me, especially when I was a worker, for you to say to me, well, it's because they've been drinking, or it's because they used the wrong drug. To me, with domestic violence, it really is much deeper than if they were drunk or they were under the influence. It's a much deeper issue that an individual has to work through before they can be deemed to be safe again to be around. It doesn't mean that you don't love this person. It doesn't mean that you have to hate this person. But fundamentally, what's most important is keeping the kids safe, and not just physically safe. What are you doing so that they're not exposed to even the after effects of domestic violence? The broken dishes, the holes in the wall, the damage to the television, the dog getting kicked, whatever is going on that is traumatic and is happening in the home, DCF needs to make sure that that's not happening. And I'm of the opinion, if you can't feel safe in your own home, where can you feel safe? And so if the kids can't feel safe at home, where else are they going to feel safe? So that's what DCF is looking for. What are you doing to make sure that the kids are safe, not just in the immediate now, but also for the future?